Honor your parents for us do to paradise. My beloved brothers and sisters, when we speak about love, loyalty, and responsibility, we cannot overlook the greatest pillar after Allah and His Messenger, and that is the honor of parents. Allah Almighty in the Quran places their rights immediately after His own worship. Allah says in Surah Al-Isra 17-23, and your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him, and that you be kind to parents. Whether one or both of them attain old age in your life, do not say to them even enough, nor repel them, but address them with gracious words. This verse alone shows us the magnitude of their place in Islam. You cannot even sigh out of frustration, let alone raise your voice against the ones who carried you, raised you, and prayed for you before you even knew how to pray for yourself. The Prophet emphasized this by saying in Sunan an-Nasa C3:1-4, the pleasure of the Lord is in the pleasure of the parent, and the anger of the Lord is in the anger of the parent. Subhanallah! If your parents are pleased, Allah is pleased. If they are upset with you unjustly, you have every reason to fear that Allah's anger might fall upon you. Parents are the gate to paradise, and many people only realize their value after they have left this world. But let me be clear, obedience to parents has boundaries. Islam does not ask you to obey them in matters where they command you to disobey Allah. If they say, leave your spouse without a valid reason, or abandon your duty towards your family, then remember the Prophet said, there is no obedience to creation in disobedience to the Creator. So Musnad Ahmad 1098. So yes, parents must be honored, respected, loved, cared for, and supported, but their demands should never be a tool for breaking another sacred bond, the bond of marriage. The wisdom of Islam is balance, not injustice. On the other hand, my brothers and sisters, Allah has given us marriage as a sacred covenant. It is not just a social contract, it is a gift from Allah to complete half of our faith. Allah describes this beautiful bond in Surah Rum 3:21. And among His signs is that He created for you spouses from among yourselves so that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy. Surely in this are signs for people who reflect. Look at the words tranquility, affection, mercy. This is not just companionship, it is divine comfort. Your spouse is not your enemy. Your spouse is not a burden. Your spouse is a garment for you, as Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:27. They are a garment for you, and you are a garment for them. Meaning, they protect you, they cover you, they beautify you, they comfort you. Like clothes against heat and cold, they shield your weaknesses and highlight your strengths. The Prophet has said in Sunan ibn Majah 17:46, the best of you are those who are best to their wives, and I am the best of you to my wives. This is a reminder to men especially, but also to women. Your loyalty, your compassion, your kindness towards your spouse is a reflection of your iman. When your wife or husband says, leave your parents or break ties with your family, they are forgetting the limits set by Allah. Marriage was never meant to cut you off from your roots. It was meant to extend love to another family, to unite households, not to destroy one in order to build another. Sometimes spouses use love as a form of blackmail. If you really love me, you will abandon them. But true love does not demand destruction of another obligation. True love uplifts both sides, and it encourages you to be dutiful to parents while being compassionate to your spouse. The Prophet taught us balance. He loved his wives dearly, but never neglected his responsibilities to his parents, his children, and his community. 3. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, here lies the real challenge. How do you manage between parents who sometimes demand separation, and a spouse who sometimes demands abandonment? This is where wisdom, patience, and fairness are tested. Allah Almighty commands us in Surah An-Nisa 4:135, you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah, even against yourselves, or your parents, or your relatives. Justice is above emotions. Justice means you cannot side with your parents blindly, nor with your spouse blindly. You must see what pleases Allah and what is fair. If your parents are asking you to divorce a spouse without valid Shari reason, such as clear immorality, abuse, or leaving Islam, then you are not obliged to obey them in that matter. Instead, you continue to honor them, serve them, love them, but politely decline injustice. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was asked about such cases, and he replied, you should not obey them in divorcing your wife, but continue to treat them kindly. On the other hand, if your spouse says, cut off your parents, stop seeing them, don't serve them, this too is against Islam. The Prophet said, whoever severs the ties of kinship will not enter paradise. Sahih Muslim 2556. So both sides must be reminded that their love is not a tool of separation, it is a bridge for mercy. Parents must understand that their son or daughter spouse is also an amanah, trust from Allah, and the spouse must understand that the in-laws are not enemies, but an extension of family. The best way forward is to include, not exclude. Spouses should honor their in-laws as their own parents, and parents should treat their son-in-law or daughter-in-law as their own children. When that harmony is created, the blackmail disappears. Instead of, choose me or them, it becomes, let us love each other together for the sake of Allah. My beloved brothers and sisters, remember Shaitan loves to break families. He thrives when he creates a war between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, or between husband and wife. Do not allow him to succeed. Use patience, dua and wisdom. Whenever you feel trapped, turn to Allah and ask, "O Allah, guide me to do what pleases you, not what pleases only them or me." Conclusion: parents are the doors to paradise. Spouses are the garments of life. Both deserve respect. Islam never asks us to choose destruction of one bond for the survival of the other. Islam asks us to balance, be just, show mercy, and remember that love is not meant to divide but to unite. So, my brothers and sisters, never allow emotional blackmail from either side to tear your home apart. Instead, stand on the Quran and Sunnah. Honor your parents with service and respect, and honor your spouse with love and compassion. When you strike that balance, Allah will bless your home with peace, your heart with contentment, and your hereafter with paradise.